You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Today, this breakfast isn't just breakfast. It might be the first McDonald's breakfast you're having at McDonald's again. This lunch might be a weekly tradition you hadn't had in weeks. And this dinner might be the first one you bought for not just you in a while. Whatever this order is for you, McDonald's will be here to take it.
Get more of the chicken you love with a delicious McChicken sandwich for $1. And for an extra buck, add a refreshing Dr. Pepper. Dining rooms are starting to reopen in certain communities at participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
In uncertain times, we could use someone to lean on. Blue Cross and Blue Shield Oklahoma will stand by you with plan options to fit your budget. If you've recently lost your job, had a baby, or moved, you can still get the health care coverage you and your family need. Financial help may be available for those who qualify. Call 855-452-BLUE or visit hereforyouok.com to see if you're eligible to enroll. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
A new year means it's time for a new home network that can keep up. With Cox Internet, you have the speed and coverage your family needs to stay connected. You'll enjoy Cox's fiber-based hybrid network with options for fast upload and download speeds. And if your household has lots of connected devices, Panoramic Wi-Fi may be the perfect fit thanks to its additional control features. Plus, with advanced security on Panoramic Wi-Fi, you'll know each connected device is securely protected 24/7. A whole world of connectivity is yours with Cox Internet. Learn more at Cox.com.
It must be Sunday night. I must be Alan Ray, your humble host. It is Sunday Night with Alan Ray. Welcome to yet another show. We are going to have all kinds of fun tonight. If you find yourself lurking about the interwebs and you accidentally stumble upon this show, get in the chat room, www.klrnradio.com, where you will be joined with all kinds of fun, frivolity-loving people like Jeff and Orty, myself, and maybe Eric and Rex and Mike, Guys, good evening. Hey, this is an invitation to you too, NSA and FBI. Come on, join us. Don't be sticking the muds. We know you're out there. Don't be shy, guys. So anyways, live in the studio tonight, we have the one and only Fat Boy Exterminator.
In national news, the wealthy elites of America have decided to choose Maui as their new island. This comes in contrast to the recent raid on their last island by the Child Crimes Against Children Services. The only part of the FBI, that they have yet to bribe.
Exactly. So, Epstein Island's done. We're gonna have to move the operations to Maui. You know, it's funny, we were talking about this, and that actually very eerily explains a lot, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That was the first thought that came into my head when the whole thing came out.
It's like, well, have to set up shop in a new place. Everybody's on the Epstein Island thing. Let's set this one on fire. Speaking of being set on fire, man, Oprah Winfrey and The Rock are just getting roasted this week because they set up, oh my gosh, they set up a charity and they want your money, $10 million of your money to go to this charity, not theirs.
No, because it can never be their money. It's their money. But your money is perfectly okay to spend on whatever they want to spend it on.
And isn't this just the typical socialist communist elites doing socialist communist elite things? I mean, my God. It's like you have billions of dollars. You live there. You give them the money. Let's see, can we find that recording? That one chick said it best. She did a whole thing on it. It makes me laugh. Let's see. There she is, right there. Do we get her?
Let's see.
Let's see if we get her.
Oh, no. There you go.
Concerned with what's happening in Maui, we thought we'd ask you to do something about it. You being other billionaires? I know, just like regular normal people. Right, okay, but you're giving 10 million. Well, we've committed to giving 10 million. What does that mean? Well, we haven't actually given it yet, but we're committed to giving it via you. Sorry, what was that? We're committed to giving the 10 million through your donations. What do you say at the end there? We'd like you to donate, and that's how we'll get to the 10 million. I thought that you already pledged the 10 million. Well, we've sort of committed that on behalf of you. So you haven't given 10 million, then you've just set a goal of raising it. Well, so you've committed other people's money to your own charity you just set up. With disasters like this, the number one need is money. Aren't you a multi-billionaire? Well, yes. Like $1 billion is 1,000 million. And you have multiple billion. Yes. And you also own 2,000 acres in Maui. Don't you have both the means and the moral obligation to help the community you live in? Hello? Oprah? Guys, I think she's Mitch McConnell.
That is such the elitist attitude. That just makes me absolutely cringe. This is perfect. You know, they want to give 10 million of your dollars in this economy with people barely eking by. Everything going up except your paycheck. But they want you little people, you littles, are to give the $10 million. Not them. Oh, God, no, not them. The whole Maui thing is just, I don't know. I feel bad for the people there. But I'm waiting for the dust to settle, and I'm waiting for how this pans out, because there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And the biggest one is, like, the emergency response that didn't happen.
Yeah. They have a emergency siren pattern for nuclear missiles. You remember that whole thing, right? During Trump,
somebody set it off.
Yeah. So why don't they have one for wildfires?
I'm sure they do.
That whole thing didn't make any fucking sense.
But it doesn't matter anyways, because, of course, the guy that actually controls the water there, the head of the water, of course, he is a DEI hire. He has no qualifications at all, and he showed that. He's the one that said, well, water is a sacred thing. And he didn't release water for 5 hours while this fire burned out of control, burned people into their homes, burned them to death. There should be hangings over this. In a just and true society, there would be hangings.
Oh, yeah. Good old-fashioned lynching, just go in. Oh, bring back the tar and feathering. I miss the tar and feathering. Why keep doing tar and feather anymore?
Tar and feather was a great idea. And yes, he said it wouldn't have mattered, so he didn't turn it on. What difference does it make? At this point, what difference does it make? He Hillaried on the water. He totally Hillaried on the water. He just stood up and said, at this point, what difference does it make? And just walked out of his office.
If you hear a gunshot, that's the old man committing suicide.
Clinton aside. Oh my gosh. So much stuff happening right now. I know you're on call this weekend, right?
Yes, I am on call this weekend.
So
that means when
you could quite technically just have to get up and walk out of here, leave me hanging.
Yes, unfortunately.
You suck.
Hey, don't blame me.
You need a different job. No, don't do that. You got a pretty good job.
Yeah, don't blame me. Blame all the whiny little
Yeah, no,
kids.
you can't. Remember, you can't say that. You could get fired. So anyway, no parties for you this weekend.
Yeah, no parties.
So at least you're not in New York.
Yeah.
New York, and this is according to Fox News, New York Police Department announced plans to fly surveillance drones over the city this Labor Day weekend to monitor outdoor parties or barbecues following complaints about large gatherings. Okay, let's back up. Let's back up to the good old days of Hardcore Patriot, the very start of the Hardcore Patriot. That seems like forever ago. I don't even remember what year that was. Because I was doing this whole thing from my bedroom. And I was having to upload it before I went to work. So I was still working afternoons. It had to be 2016, 2015?
Yeah, 2015.
And that's when they started talking about licensing drones and allowing drones to fly and how good it was going to be because they were going to actually be able to help solve crimes. And people like me came out and said, guys, this is not going to be used right. This is going to be used to take away your freedoms. Here we are in 2023. Gosh darn it. Who was right once again?
Yeah. South Park. South Park was right.
South Park was right.
They did a whole episode on this. Craig's mom's bush.
Yeah. South Park are like prophets.
No, the problem is that we have gone so far in society that comedy is becoming prophecy. And that's bad.
Oh, yeah. That's
not good.
When you live in what Alex Jones used to call, what we used to call conspiracy theories, and Alex Jones used to belt this stuff out, and now it's all real. It's like, okay, did you use Alex Jones's show to come up with this stuff, or has it always been? Yeah, I've got my own conspiracy theory about Alex Jones.
Yeah, he told too much truth, and that's why they got rid of him.
I think he's a Fed. Think this through with me. Some of these people, some of these characters that go out there, and they act unhinged, they act crazy, and they spew out what eventually gets known as the truth. And they do it in such a way that nobody believes them because they believe they're crazy. What better way can you think to derail what you're doing than to actually put the truth right out there, wide and free, but do it through the mouth of somebody who everybody deems crazy, so nobody believes the absolute truth? That's my conspiracy theory. These people are all federal agents, or at least paid by the feds to do what they do.
Yeah, like that one guy that got rid of the militia group over in Adrian there.
Yeah, let him go. Let him go. Let him talk crazy. Let him talk like crazy people, and just portray the person as being insane. And then the message gets misconstrued as being wrong and insane. And the whole time it's absolutely 100% true.
Interesting.
Yeah, now maybe not, and I'm just kidding about Alex Jones being a Fed. I doubt he is. I've heard his stuff long enough to know he's not. But it makes me wonder if that's why they just let him go, is because he's got the reputation. And there's others like him that are the same way, that they just say, oh, this guy's, They paint the messenger in a dubious light.
So the message is questionable.
So the message is questionable and cloudy. And then you don't even have to worry about it. I mean, go as far back as Area 51 and aliens.
Yeah.
And now we're finding out that a bunch of that crap's true.
Yeah, that is true. And nobody cares about the aliens.
Nobody cares about the aliens. Aliens have landed. Yeah, all right. So we're almost to nuclear war with Russia. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
We have drones flying over your Labor Day parties in New York City. Let's talk about that. Are those aliens? No.
Are black people going to shoot the drones? Most likely.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Now, you're too young to remember this, but when you were quite small, the first night that Operation Desert Storm hit, and they were just like blasting Baghdad.
Yeah.
And those CNN reporters are like stuck in a hotel, and all of this grainy film footage is coming out of there. That's what New York City is going to look like with them drones flying over there. 15,000 bullets flying through the air trying to shoot them down. So take note, FBI guys. You listening? Yeah, NSA, FBI, if you're listening to this, just take note. You might want to put titanium armor on the bottom of the drones.
just a little bit. Just a layer.
So... Hey, we're doing the thing. We're doing the conspiracy theory thing tonight. Why not? No, I've been warned of this crap many years ago. They were going to use this whole drone thing to basically take away your, and it's like, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, why are you worried about it? Well,
what is considered wrong by your standards versus what is considered wrong by my standards?
Exactly. They think that because you're having a big party, you're doing wrong.
Yeah, or I'm out sunbathing naked.
Well, that's been going on for a long time. People in airplanes flying too close to roofs and stuff like that. But no, I mean, I don't know. To me, this just like defines what's going on with our government. They think nothing of this. They go, yeah, let's just do this.
Please do not shoot the drones. No.
Oh my gosh. So, okay. To your stuff.
To my stuff.
Anthony, you don't show up most of the time until there's some kind of a Monday off or something like that, because you work nights.
Yes, I work in the middle of the night.
You're one of those introverts that works all night, which is fine.
Yes.
So, what brings you to Gadsden Studios?
I come bearing wonderful news that this month is going to be absolutely wonderful for video games.
What's coming out?
Well, right now you got Starfield, which is Bethesda's new baby. It's their version of going into space and doing space exploration-y stuff.
Ooh, space exploration-y stuff.
Yes.
What kind of space exploration-y stuff? Is this called Bethesda, you said?
Yeah, Bethesda's game studios. They're the ones that make the Fallout games. The ones that have all the old jazz.
I like the Fallout games.
Yeah.
Except you don't want me to play them with you.
No, because you keep telling me to shoot things that I can't shoot. You need to pay attention.
Shoot the dog! It's my dog. Shoot it! I bet it's rabid. Shoot it anyways.
But yeah, no, this takes space. This does space exploration. The whole Earth got screwed over. Earth died. People left, colonized the rest of the universe, and all that. The big issue, there's already controversy for this game out already, and it.
Oh my god!
And it's only
which social justice issue does it have?
Colonialism of other extraterrestrial planets.
Yes. And already says the company that has the most abusive relationship with its users.
Yes. Funnily enough, this game is actually pretty good. I got the early access version, and yeah, it's early access, so they're complaining about early access. So it's
well, maybe they should invest the money and time that you have in it, and they'd get early access.
Yeah, but
screw you, hippies.
Oh. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so far I haven't run into any game-breaking bugs that are usually in Bethesda products. Everyone knows that. But after Microsoft, but I need to remind people, including you already, that Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Well, that's the end of that one.
Yeah. So they basically bought Bethesda to try and have Xbox exclusive stuff. So,
oh my god,
yeah, it's up in the air for that.
Well, but Microsoft is like the creepy stalker ex-girlfriend of computers.
It is.
It really is. It really is. It's like, I bought up all your favorite games, and I added your hair, so now those games are you. Yeah.
Yeah. Better than Activision.
What's wrong with that? I remember Activision. Isn't that a really old company?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they've been around for a long time. I remember the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, they're the ones that make the Call of Duty franchise. And that whole thing is just going down the toilet because now they're going to ban you from playing the game for trash-talking people. Online. Yes, they are going to ban you from playing the game for trash-talking people online. The game that you paid for.
The game that you shoot people and you murder them. You take axes to people and stuff. And if you trash-talk people, they're going to throw you out.
Yes.
This is like the Walleye hockey arena.
No. This is the whole thing with South Park. Gratuitous violence is okay so long as there's no dirty words.
That's right. This is like what hockey has become. You go to hockey to scream and yell, let all your frustrations out. And now the local ECHL club, the Toledo Walleye, has signs. If somebody gets too rowdy, just text this number and we'll come remove them. And remember when we all went to that game? You were with us, weren't you?
God, that was so boring.
And it was just like, we used to go to Toledo
Storm.
The Toledo Storm, and that was like an old arena. You knew you were going to see blood and death. And that's why you were there. You had the drunk Italian, like, over 2 rows and down 3, and screeching at everybody, you know. It was like old Rome, you know. You knew you were going to see blood and death. And now it's like, well, if somebody says something bad, you can text this number and have them removed.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. But also, in regards to all this, the new DLC for CyberPunk is coming out at the end of the month called Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, Artie says that they've been around since Atari 2600.
Yeah.
Now you're talking my generation.
Yeah,
Activision. I'm talking about my generation.
Stop singing. I will throw you in an old people home.
Stop it. Well, you know me. My gaming, outside of Guitar Hero.
Yeah. My
gaming ended at Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Which I am still the king.
You keep telling yourself that.
I am. It's not even arguable.
But
anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, with Phantom Liberty DLC, they're also coming out with patch 2.0, which is going to drop as early as next week, which is basically a giant overhaul of the game.
What's the name of it?
Cyberpunk 2077. This is the main game.
Okay.
And then patch 2.0.
Patch 2.0.
Yes.
I think I saw patch 2.0 warm up for the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, don't start. Just no.
So what's the patch supposed to be?
Well, the patch goes over things like the skill tree, the interaction with police. The police actually chase you and try to kill you now because, fun times with cops. Fun times with weapons.
The police try to kill you.
Well, yeah.
So basically it's a reality game.
Basically, yeah. And you don't even have to be black to do that.
It's the next level.
Yeah.
It must be federal agents, if you even look at the White House, they just toss you in a dungeon and beat you for the rest of your life. Jeff says he's got a video game. There we go. Selma Hayek's 57th birthday. She's a year younger than me. Holy cow.
You're old.
Oh, yeah. I get older next week.
Sucks to be you.
You know what? I don't even care anymore. Turning 40 bothered me. Not even going to argue that. Turning 40 just disturbed me. 50? Oh, that's rough. It's a
downward slope, and you're on the freaking toboggan.
That's right. It's the basket to hell. And I'm enjoying the ride. I've decided that from 50 to however long I live, I'm just going to take my vengeance for the first 50 years of life. everything that's bothered me, that's made me mad, that's pissed me off, I'm going to take my vengeance for. And I don't even care anymore.
Nope.
The clutch between my brain and my mouth is pretty much completely gone. So anyways, what other games? You got Cyberpunk Patch 2.0.
Yep, and the DLC Phantom Liberty, which is going to be very fun because you get to go explore a new area, you get a new ending, you get fun stuff. So Idris Elba, I think that's how you say his name. He's one of those actors. He's a famous actor. I have not watched any modern stuff, so I have no clue what he's in. So it's just...
Well, none of them doing anything right now because of writer's strike. So.
Oh, that's another fun little thing. They want to get all the voice actors for video games on the writer's strike as well.
You're kidding me.
No.
Well, really, somebody's got to narrate that stuff, right?
Not really.
It makes sense. I mean, there's things in there.
Yeah, but you got to understand, there's also the indie games. The independent gaming companies and all that, and they create some fun, old school, side-scrolling platform jumper type games that you don't need voice actors for.
That works.
Yeah, you got things like Shovel Knight, which was indie games. You got this one where you think you're the hero, but you're actually the villain chasing the prince, trying to kidnap the princess. All kinds of fun.
Questionable sanity. I like that. Questionable morals.
Yeah. So you don't really... Well, not only that, but the big game companies also have branches in other countries.
China?
Not just China, but CD Projekt Red, who created Cyberpunk, has a Polish company. Company in Poland and other European countries. So, it's not like they're magically going to get rid of voice actors and...
So let me ask you something. How far or how much have video games gone up in price since everything else is going through the roof?
Well, considering that it used to be about $50 for a new video game, it's now $70. And that's for a base game. If you want extra, like the expansions and all that stuff, it's going to cost you more. Then, of course, they decided to add microtransactions into certain games, and
you hear that? That's the money getting sucked out of your wallet.
Yeah, the problem is that there are those who are addicted to video gaming.
Well, yeah,
they will keep these microtransaction things going for longer than what they need to be. Well, most people just ignore them and go with whatever they get.
So explain to me like I'm a head trauma third grader. What's a micro?
Basically, it's an in-game transaction where you exchange real money for fake money. And then you use the fake money to buy things from the game store.
That's ingenious.
Yeah, no,
that's ingenious.
South Park did...
What a racket.
South Park did a whole thing on freemium gaming. The freemium means not really.
Freemium.
Yeah.
I love
it. Based on RPG logic. Only you switch it all out with money. Money, 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 money.
Oh my gosh.
It was created by the Canadian devil. Beelzebub.
Beelzebub, otherwise known as Justin Trudeau. So we've reached the bottom of the hour. When we come back, we're going to talk about Burning Man. We're going to talk about Florida Nazis. I hate Florida Nazis.
The Illinois Nazis are worse.
That's right. And all kinds of other stuff. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.
Struck by lightning sounds pretty frightening, but you know the chances are so small. Stuck by a beast ain't nothing but a bee thing. Better chance you're gonna buy it at the mall. But it's a 23 or 4 to 1 that you can fall in love by the end of this song. So get up, tell the bookie put a bet on, not a damn thing will go wrong. The odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright tonight. The odds are that we will probably be alright.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
Hey, Randy, what you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. I'm just making a list of things that make me feel really, really good.
Wearing Bombas socks.
Trust me, that's number one on my list. Bombas socks feel so good because we use the smartest design and best materials, making them the most comfortable socks ever.
Plus, because socks are the number one most requested clothing item in homeless shelters, we donate a pair for every pair purchased, and that feels pretty good, too.
To shop Bombas or learn more about how your purchase supports those experiencing homelessness, go to bombas.com/comfy and get 20% off your first purchase.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Today, this breakfast isn't just breakfast. It might be the first McDonald's breakfast you're having at McDonald's again. This lunch might be a weekly tradition you hadn't had in weeks. And this dinner might be the first one you bought for not just you in a while. Whatever this order is for you, McDonald's will be here to take it.
Get more of the chicken you love with a delicious McChicken sandwich for $1. And for an extra buck, add a refreshing Dr. Pepper. Dining rooms are starting to reopen in certain communities. At participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
The odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright tonight. The odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright tonight. The odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright tonight.
And just like that, Anthony's gone. I want to thank him for being on my show. He got called to work. That's what happens when you're on call. And, you know, that's a good question, Mike. You got to remember that he takes care of he works all night, but he's also has a lot to do with, like, the hospitals and places that are open all night. So, yeah. I know he actually works for the school. So he's gone. He's off and running. Anthony, thank you for being on the show. Be careful out there. Watch the critters crossing the roads from here into the great city of Ann Arbor. Crazy stuff going on. It was good to have him. It's always good to have my son on my show. You know, the thing about it, Anthony and I, is we've always, since he was very, very young, we've always been able to talk. We will sit and pontificate about the problems of the world for hours on end. That's just how we are. We've always been that way. And it's kind of funny because I'm a lot like that. I was a lot like that with my dad. So every time he comes on this show, I just enjoy the heck out of it. So thank you, Anthony. Welcome back. It's Sunday night. I'm Alan Ray. So things are going on. Things you may not know. The Epic Times says federal court has ruled against FDA over anti-ivermectin posts. You remember back in the good old days when we were all locked down, and ivermectin come out and they said, "Look, ivermectin is an award-winning, Nobel Prize-winning drug. It's been around for over 50 years, and they've been using it on viruses and flus." Just like the one that's out there, like 88% similarity. And they've been having great success. Third world countries are using it. using it on little babies and pregnant mothers. And, of course, we couldn't have that here in the United States. Nope, could not have it. There was an all-out attack by our federal bureaucracy against this life-saving drug. Who knows how many people could have lived through COVID if it weren't for the stupidity of the bureaucracies in the United States federal government. There's a reason, folks, that people like me simply just do not trust the government anymore, period, hands down. And we'll get more into that as we go. But I want to make this one real quick because we got so much more to cover. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration likely overstepped its authority when it told Americans, and I remember this, tweeted, to stop using ivermectin against COVID-19, a federal court ruled on September 1st. FDA can inform, but it has identified no authority allowing it to recommend consumers stop taking medicine, U.S. Circuit Court Judge Don Willett wrote in a ruling. The FDA has authority under the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act to convey information to consumers. The FDA during COVID-19 pandemic has issued multiple statements discouraging people from taking ivermectin against COVID-19. Accompanied by a picture of a horse and a link to an FDA webpage on ivermectin, the agency wrote in one social media post, "You are not a horse, you are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." The page it linked to is entitled, "Why You Should Not Use Ivermectin to Treat or Prevent COVID-19. 3 doctors sued the FDA over its statements on ivermectin, arguing the agency cannot advise doctors on which drugs to prescribe, which is correct. Ivermectin is approved by the agency as an anti-parasitic drug for both humans and animals, although they use it for everything. The federal law gives the government immunity against legal actions with some exceptions. One exception, known as ultravirus, is when an official acts outside of their authority. Plaintiffs challenging the act must show that the official is acting without any authority whatsoever or without any colorable basis for the exercise of authority, according to the earlier court ruling. The FDA does have the authority to share data and facts. The parties agree, but they diverge on whether the FDA can issue recommendations on medical matters, such as treatments. So the FDA just got its little pee-pee slapped. The FDA probably was responsible for a lot of deaths. This is why we don't trust a lot of the bureaucracy. Now, I've mentioned this before. And this trust, this healthy skepticism of our government. And a lot of people look at me and go, "Oh, you're anti-government." No, I'm not anti-government. I believe in our system, in our system, our uncorrupted, unwhored out system. The problem with our system right now is it's corrupted and it's whored out. It's a good old boys club, and guess what? You're not one of the club members. And the problem is this government is capable of the most nefarious acts, justified by something that they see fit to better the United States. And this goes back to World War II even, and maybe even before. But in World War II, naval intelligence, along with FBI on a certain level, but naval intelligence basically was controlling the mafia, working with the mafia to control the coastal docks on the East Coast, all up and down the coast. Working hand in hand with mafia, not just street thugs in the mafia. I'm talking the mafia leaders. And not just in America. During the invasion of Sicily, one of the first things they did was seek out mafia members in the little towns in Sicily and get them established on the docks to do the same thing they were doing in New York. And that's surveillance. That's controlling everything. And of course, the mafia is robbing the United States blind. They're especially in Sicily, they're supposed to be bringing stuff in to help it go to poor people, and they're rerouting a lot of it and making their own money on it. But I say this to tell you, and this book's called Operation Underworld, by the way. You should read it. It's very, very eye-opening to how far our government bureaucracies and our military will go for what they deem is the good of the people. Now, was it right they did that? I'm not going to say one way or the other, because it worked. If they wouldn't have done what they did, who knows what could have happened on our docks, and who knows how many people we would have lost on D-Day, because it helped. But, needless to say, they're probably still embedded. So when things like this, the next subject, come out, I have healthy skepticism. Maybe too much, maybe unhealthy. Knowing what I know, knowing that in this very county from which I am broadcasting right now, the Federal Bureau of Investigations infiltrated a group of morons, a group of social outcasts, a group of idiots, and tried to talk them into assassinating a state police. And during that state police person's funeral, attacking the funeral procession, bringing on a war with the cops. Now, how much of it was these morons' idea, and how much of it was the FBI's idea? We'll probably never know because it was all buried, but I can tell you one thing. The case got dismissed. All of it got dismissed except a couple of trumped-up weapons charges. Then flash forward to just a few years ago. The kidnapping, so-called, of Gretchen Whitmer. We found out that 99% of everything that was going on were federal agents. The protest in Lansing, when you seen pictures of armed citizens going into the Lansing Capitol building, and people freaking out about it. Oh, they're armed, they're going in. We found out that the FBI were the ones that told the state police to let these people through. Why is it such a stretch, I ask you, to believe that there was no federal agent involvement in January 6th? That people weren't being coerced and guided in January 6th? We know they were. We know they were. And so when I see things like what happened this weekend going on, and I'm not alone in this thinking, the first thing I think of is, look at the feds. Groups of neo-Nazi and white supremacists spread anti-Semitic, white supremacist, and anti-LGBTQ messages outside of Disney World and in the nearby Orlando, Florida area Saturday. In the latest examples of rising anti-Semitism in the U.S., officials said. This is according to NBC News. About 15 people. Okay, 15 people. Somebody in the chat room do the math. 15 people out of 350 million. What's that percentage? Can somebody tell me that? Jeff, you're a math nerd. What's the percentage of 15 people out of 350 million? They were bearing flags emblazoned with Nazi insignia demonstrated outside the entrance to Disney Springs Shopping Center, said the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Now, see, here's the problem I have. And I saw the videos. They're out there. I'm not going to deny there are very stupid people out there who still hold on to the Nazi rhetoric. It's been that way since World War II. You know, they don't want to tell you this in history, but Nazism, Nazi fascism, was pretty popular in the United States for quite some time before World War II, before we found out that Hitler was gassing the Jews. It was actually starting to become spread. I don't think it's 30%, Mike. I think it's 0.00003 or something like that. But I'm just saying, until we figured out how disgusting Adolf Hitler was, he was starting to catch on a little bit. So there's still remnants of people that want you to believe that Adolf Hitler wasn't gassing Jews and wasn't participating in the Holocaust. These are the same people that believe the earth is flat, or similar like-minded people. They're idiots. They're morons. But when you see these videos, and you see these clean-cut, pretty much muscular, middle-aged, a little too clean-cut, and their clothes are just a little too new, and their flags are shining and kind of new, don't look like they've been used much. Mike says, nobody told me it was going to be Matt tonight. Sorry, buddy. When you see this stuff, where does your head typically go? We know. We've established the fact. It's not even a conspiracy theory anymore, people. that federal agents embed themselves. In fact, a lot of times take over movements, small, tiny movements full of outcasts and morons, like Antifa, like the Florida Nazis, like the Hootery right here in my home area. We know they infiltrate them and try to talk them into doing bad things so they can be arrested. We know that. Why is it such a big deal to look at these people who are obviously role-playing and not go, kind of smells like feds to me. No, I know, and here's where I'm torn, okay? I believe you have the right to protest. In fact, I believe this is something that the right side of politics falls down on. The right side of politics falls down because we should be organized and protesting just like the Democrats do. Democrats are, the left. The farther left you go, the more organized and more soldier-like these people are. It's crazy. I mean, it just takes just minutes to get them motivated, to get them all in somebody's neighborhood protesting. And the protest doesn't even have to be logical or reasonable. Some drug addict freaks out, goes at cops with a knife, and they have to shoot him. And the next morning, there's protesters everywhere, and they're burning down buildings and throwing stuff at the cops. That doesn't happen. That's not grassroots. And we need to take more note of how they organize and do that stuff. But back to my original thinking. Why is it not reasonable, logical, to assume that people like this skinhead they got out there, who, by the way, some autistic dude on Twitter has already connected him with the Democrat Party. The man himself says he would vote for Joe Biden because Joe Biden's attacking Ukraine. But yet they're trying to call him far right wing. He's already been pretty much nailed to the Democrat Party. He's an op. This is all theater. It would, the thing about it is nowadays, it would surprise me if it wasn't theater, if it wasn't some optic to make you hate the right more and more. Because, like I said back in the Obama days, I wrote this and it's still out there. They are going to try to outlaw conservatism. That is their end goal, to outlaw us, flat out. And I really can't even call myself a conservative anymore. I'm a conservatarian, but my libertarian streak just gets wider and wider all the time. Because I don't trust any of them. The GOP is ballless. They don't fight back. They just sit in the corner and whimper and whine. While the Democrats basically just shame them and just run over them with steamrollers. It's disgusting. We have no representative. No representation at all. Finally, and to me, I don't know. I really hope nobody dies in this. I really hope nobody died. But upwards of 73,000 people are locked down at the Burning Man Festival after flooding leads to a lockdown. I guess Burning Man's an annual arts festival held in Black Rock City, Nevada. It's closed its entrance and exit gates after torrential downpours transformed the festival grounds into a muddy hellscape. Approximately 73,000 attendees have been instructed to conserve food, water, and fuel as driving off the location remains impossible at this time. This is according to Trending Politics News. I'm sorry. This is kind of funny because I've been told, I don't know anything about this, but I've been told that the people that go there are just so pretentious. Just a bunch of left-wing, stinking hippies with dreadlocks, just pretentious idiots. And this is kind of a pagan type thing. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not too sure of it. But they're out there in what is basically a temporary commune. And the razor-thin infrastructure has been cut off. And again, I want to admit, I want to tell you, I hope nobody dies. I hope nobody gets injured. There was earlier reports that Ebola was going around, and that's a bunch of crap. That didn't happen. Eric in chat, you're dead right. I'd be a full-blown libertarian if it wasn't for the libertarians. I just got this streak. You know, that's just all it is. All I want is people to just leave me alone. That's all I want. That's all I ask. I'm too old, I'm too hobbled up right now to actually do anything. I just want people to leave me alone. But these people who basically you could tell that just most of them would probably just love it if the United States turned communist, and they're out there in communist heaven. And their razor thin infrastructure has just been cut off. Learn well from this, people. Learn well. Number one, why did you go out into an area where there's no resources? No resources except of what gets shipped in. And why didn't you take your own stuff? If I was going out to a week-long festival out in the middle of nowhere, where food and water have to be shipped in, where supplies is limited, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be exactly depending on the benevolence of others for me to stay alive. I would have my own drinking water. I would have my own food source. I would have a camper full of MREs or something like that. These are morons. Learn from it, people. Learn from it. Because New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, all of these people, all of these places that you want to turn into socialist paradises. And you've been trying to do this for decades and decades and decades, and they just keep getting worse and worse and worse because pretty much everything the left touch turns to dog crap. That's just the way it is. It turns to dog crap. All of this stuff, when your razor-thin infrastructure collapses, this is going to be your life. No matter if you're in a desert or if you're in downtown New York City, if you're in Manhattan, this is going to be your life. If you can't provide for yourself, stay alive under your own doing, that's you. You're going to depend on somebody else. Now, I can't believe, I know, and I know Sleeping Man, Joe Biden, he's addressed this issue. Of course, you know, he's given the people in Maui, what, $700 a piece? Oh, boy, that'll help. It's okay. Oprah's going to step up. She's going to give those people in Maui your $10 million. But Joe Biden's addressing this issue. Still hasn't been to Ohio yet from the train wreck, but he's going to address this issue because these are his people. These are his voters. These are his communists. So it wouldn't take much for an airdrop. But I guarantee you, if they drop supplies through the air in that place, it'll be bedlam. It'll be chaos. 70,000 people converging on enough resources for about a third of that, a quarter of that. They'll tear that thing to pieces. It'll be interesting. It really will. Well, we're rolling down to the end of all this. It's a great, big, crazy world. And I'm sorry I wasn't here last week. For those of you that don't know, I spilled boiling water on my foot Thursday before last. And as of last Sunday night, Saturday night, I should say, we had no electricity. And by the time Sunday night rolled around, I was in a lot of pain. I'd finally gotten to a urgent care, and they finally told me, hey, you got third-degree burns over half your foot. And I'm on all kinds of like pain meds and Silvadine, that stuff you slather on burns. That stuff works pretty good. I've never had to use that before because I've never been stupid enough to spill boiling water on my foot. But that stuff works pretty good. My foot's healing up nicely, but there's still a lot of pain involved. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do this tonight or not. They gave me a tetanus shot right away. I'm on antibiotics. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. They just like hammered on me. And this urgent care place that I went to, I got to hand it to you. I go to a lot of doctors. I don't go to a lot of doctors' offices, I shouldn't say, but over 57 years, I've been to a few. These people were very nice, polite. The receptionist was snarky but funny. The doctor was pretty funny. The nurse, this nurse, he was hysterical. Good people. And they hooked me up, took care of me, asked me the right questions, got me the right meds, got me out of there, in and out quickly. And wow, that was refreshing. Because I've had so many bad experiences with the healthcare system lately, especially. And they asked me, when was the last time you've seen a doctor? Because I had to think about my doctor. I don't remember his name. I've only seen him twice in my life. I told him I could count on one hand the times I've been to the doctor since 2018, and I'd have 4 fingers left. And he goes, oh. And what was funny about this whole thing, and this is disturbing but funny, they had to ask, what medications are you on? And I told him none, unless you count, allergy pills I take this time of year every day. He goes, well, technically yes, but no. But what do you take? And I told him. And he goes, you're not on any medications at all. I said, no. And you're almost 58 years old. I was like, right. Huh. Well, that's pretty good. Apparently, it's unusual for somebody my age to not be on any medications whatsoever. I'm going to count that as a win. And Mike, you're right. I've been to a few urgent cares. In fact, one urgent care in a town just north of here almost killed me. And this was many, many years ago. I had pretty much pneumonia, and they described one of those Z-Packs and some lame cough syrup, and it did nothing for me, and it darn near put me in the hospital. So I hate them too. But these guys, if I have the same experience, if I have to go there again, I have the same experience, I won't be afraid to go there because they seem like a pretty good place. That's highly unusual. That's a light at the end of the tunnel. And right now, healthcare system absolutely sucks. Healthcare itself, since Obama days, healthcare itself just sucks. So I'm hoping that this is a light at the end of the tunnel. I hope I have found some place that I could walk into and get what I need done and get out. All right, we've reached the top of the hour again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for spending an hour with me tonight. I really appreciate it. Next week, Lord willing, is going to be a Nerd Fest. I just received from the Amazon people today a new Radtel radio. I am going to attempt to compare this Radtel radio to Baofeng, or Baofeng, however you want to say it. We're going to have a shootout right here live on Sunday Night with Alan Ray. Join me next week, same bat time, same bat place. Keep it locked on KLRN Radio all week long for some of the best programming you're ever going to get. And until next time, God bless. We'll talk again soon.